Welcome back. It is 12:07 this afternoon, and in just a few hours, 27 organizations from all across Rhode Island will rally at the State House for what would be a first in Rhode Island, a $30 million allocation to support crime victims. Now, to help us understand the impact that this could have, Sojourner House CEO Vanessa Valls is joining us in studio live right now this afternoon for a look at what a difference it can make for the clients that they work with each and every day. Vanessa, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So talk to us a little bit, for people who may not be familiar with the Sojourner House, about what you do and how the victim services that you offer look on a daily basis.
Sojourner House is a victim services agency that specifically provides support to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. And we do so in what I often refer to as a continuum of supportive services. So we do everything from emergency crisis intervention. We have a hotline that's run 24 hours a day. We have 3 emergency shelters, and then we provide supportive services such as clinical counseling, case management, referrals to other programs. And then we've built out, especially over the last several years, a very comprehensive permanent supportive housing program that involves transitional housing, rapid rehousing, permanent housing. We're actually also a housing developer, so we purchase and rehab buildings so that we have more housing available. But really the idea is trying to support individuals and families at every level in their journey.
And I really want to hone in on some of the numbers right now. According to the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 46.7% of women, 40% of men here in the Ocean State have experienced some sort of domestic violence during their lifetime at varying levels of severity. And that means that it is highly likely that you or someone you know is either directly or indirectly impacted. Tell us about how many people you have housed right now and how many people you service in the span of a given year.
Absolutely. So we serve almost 2,000 unduplicated individuals a year at Sojourner House, and our housing program is our largest program at this point. We own or lease over 150 separate units. Keep in mind, each unit normally is housing a family, so most clients come to us with 2-3 children. So we're serving hundreds of people just in our housing program every year.
Go ahead.
I just want to reiterate, the statistics are really startling when you think about who's affected here in Rhode Island by domestic violence. And I don't think it's dramatic to say it's a public health issue. I mean, an issue that is affecting 46% of women and over 40% of men. You're absolutely right. If someone is not directly affected, they know someone within their circle who has been.
And so I want to touch specifically for you all, how could the lack of federal funding affect what you do? How much is hanging in the balance, really, when it comes to those dollars being cut off?
Yeah, that's a very pivotal question for us right now. There's been a lot going on over the last few weeks. Sojourner House is primarily federally funded, which means about 80% of our $12 million budget comes from federal funding sources, including the Department of Justice, HUD, Health and Human Services. And so if there were to be grants frozen or even grants reduced in the future, it could severely impact the ability for us to serve victims. And it's important to note that I mentioned we serve almost 2,000 unduplicated individuals a year, but those are people that are able to access our services. We have many more people who ask for help that we can't serve. So the need is a lot greater.
And the great need is something that you guys are trying to support with $30 million. And it's not just $30 million for the Sojourner House. This is across 27 other organizations that do very similar work. So this is something that will be taking place at the State House. Your organization will be among those who will be rallying for this type of change. That will be happening at 3:30 this afternoon. We want to put some information up on your screen for you right now about how you can assist people if you or someone you know is impacted by domestic violence. You can reach out to the Sojourner House. They have office hours between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. It's over on Westminster Street. There is a local hotline that you can call. You mentioned that, Vanessa, that's something that you guys staff here locally. There is a national number that you can call. If you are affected by this, you can take back your life. You can create that change. There are people who are standing by, like Vanessa here, to support you each and every step of that way. Again, that rally at the State House is happening this afternoon at 3:30. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.